Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are continuing Avatar The Last Airbender. This is Book 3, Chapter 17, titled The Ember Island Players. Ember Island, that sounds like some sort of, maybe some sort of sport, or I don't know what we're getting into here. Ember Island, that also sounds familiar. Have we been there
I think that
before?
was the beach was on Ember Island.
Oh, yeah, the beach episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be interesting, at least. Maybe, like, if we're following what's been happening in the last episodes, like the last 3 or 4 episodes, then it's time for Toph to go on an adventure with Zuko this time, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, everybody gets a Zuko adventure, or maybe it's just Aang, Sokka, then Katara, and now they're gonna go to Ember Island together where, yeah, as you said, Zuko has been before in the beach episode. Ember Island play. Is it the volleyball team? Like, are they just gonna play volleyball for an episode and then we're gonna get into a very heavy
Let's find
finale?
out.
Let's find out. Yeah, exactly. And you can, of course, always check out our full length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Avatar. We are 4 episodes ahead. It is all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. Let's go. Last episode before the finale. Fuck. All right, from a very heavy and relevant episode that's, dealing with some things that we've been building to an episode that was pretty much just all about, having some fun, I guess, before the big finale.
And surmising what's been
Yeah,
going on.
summarizing what's going on in a clever way where they don't do it like a direct, like, this is just a summary,
Mm.
and showing us a lot of flashbacks, but they did it through a play, and as I said, put a lot of humor in there. But yeah, that's pretty much what that was. So I don't think there's a lot to talk about with this episode. Interesting that they were hiding out on Ember Island and they just went straight to Zuko's family's house that we also saw in the beach episode when he visited there. Yeah, it seems like that was a neat little hideout that they could just stay there, pretty much, and still be like almost in the heart of the Fire Nation, and yeah, being able to hide. And then attending a play that showed their adventures up until now, and even past that. So we essentially got like the end to the series as well, even though that's not what's going to happen. Of course, we don't expect for the Fire Lord and
No.
Azula to decide to win this whole thing, and for the other guys to just, or for the gang to straight up die or anything. And some of the other stuff that they had in that play, it was yeah, interesting to watch, both for us and for the gang as well. I'm still curious about, like, where did they get all of that? Because some of it was very close to what happened, just with like some minor details changed. Some stuff that you couldn't have known unless you were there. But I don't think we were supposed to
No.
think about it that
No.
much. We were both of us were like thinking at one point, just quickly, that, oh, maybe that's where Iroh is. That's what he's been doing. But no, why
No.
would he spend time doing that and also painting
Mm.
himself, like his character, in such a bad light, and Zuko, and yeah, I don't see that happening at all. The most important thing, or the thing that was more relevant to the story, I think, in this one, was more or less the thing between Katara and Aang, and their whole, back and forth, because they did kiss in the whole invasion episode when that went down on the ship. But now Katara is saying, like, we're in the middle of a war. It's
Mhm.
it's kind of confusing. I'm confused. So I don't feel like getting into it right now. And Aang obviously wants to get into it, but I'm sure, like, I see it from both
Yeah,
sides.
me
I
too. Me too.
definitely
Me
do.
too. I. It's like Katara side is what always bothers me when you romance people in games
Like Mass Effect, for example.
especially in Mass Effect, where
Yeah.
it's like, well, you're about, it's like you're very close to the whole universe as you know it is ending,
Yeah.
and then everything you can think about is just jumping someone's bones, and it's just like I guess my own perspective would be that I would not focus on that.
Yeah.
I would rather focus on
Yeah.
just getting a thing done, also because of like attachments and everything.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense, of course. And like most of your Mass Effect playthroughs, like you didn't have any romances, did you? Really?
I went for Caden, but that's because that was just basically just like default.
All right. Fair enough. But yeah, totally get like Katara. Right now, this is not what we should be focusing on. But then again, as I said, like I also see it from Aang's perspective that he might die. Like this is, it's not a given that he's gonna come out of this like victorious fighting the Fire Lord, and so much is on his shoulders, him, the Avatar, that if he goes out or if he sacrifices himself or something, and he doesn't get to really show Katara how much she means to him, and get that reciprocated, then he might feel like something's missing, like he can't commit to doing what he needs to do before he feels like he has that, like maybe some closure in that regard, that okay, we are to like we can be together, or just having that we can be together afterwards, like that whole confirmation,
or
I
just
don't know.
a deeper sense of what he's fighting for.
That too, yeah.
At least that's how I see that. Sometimes you need a little bit more encouragement in the form of actually, knowing just exactly how much you're gonna lose, if you're gonna lose, and that is the cherry on the top for like of what you're going to fight for. And of course, it's nice to blow off some steam beforehand, right?
We know he's kind of been almost like in love with her ever since
it was love at first
he
sight.
met her. Yeah, it pretty much was love at first sight. So for him to go and like dealing with these feelings, and he's probably feeling confused as well, and he just wants it to work. Like he's so in love with her that he almost can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So he needs to get it out of the way maybe before he can, as I said, commit to the fighting the Fire Lord. Yeah.
But we know that he's been blocked off from the Avatar state, and I can't help but think that maybe this is what he needs to like let go of her, because when he went to the Guru and that whole thing, as soon as he got to Katara, he couldn't let her go, and I think that might be why he was kind of struggling when he was struck down by Azula back then. Perhaps he was still struggling with letting her go. Yeah. And maybe this is the actual, the final notch that he can actually let her go, and then he can perhaps unblock his chakra and return the Avatar state. Perhaps. I don't know if it's like it was closed off for good when he died. But...
Yeah, I'm not like, because the Guru said if you don't complete all, like go through the entire cycle here, if you don't do all of it, then it's gonna be closed off to you. But we've had some people tell us in the comments that he did go through all of it, and he was reaching that Avatar state, and then he got struck. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking he will get back into the Avatar state, and that is how he's ultimately going to defeat the Fire Lord. But yeah, maybe it does have something to do with Katara and his relationship to her, and letting her go, or maybe deciding that no, that's bullshit, I'm not gonna let her go, and I'm fine with that. I'm using her as like I'm fighting for her. Maybe that could be an outcome as well. But yeah, that was the Katara and Aang thing. That was like the main thing for me, story wise in this episode, and then yeah, just a lot of fun and some weird stuff going on the stage.
Yeah, and of course I understand why they're doing this. It's like we're just gonna summarize everything that happened.
Yeah.
Before the last hurrah.
Yeah, in a clever way. As
very meta, and yeah.
Oh yeah, very meta. The way that they just skipped the Great Divide. Very meta, and even with Jet, like, so did Jet die? Yeah, it wasn't. That wasn't very clear, and yeah.
And when
callback, yeah.
When Sokka was reciting, "Oh, you missed this and this and this and that," and then he said, "And I think the combustion guy died." You know, like
that was another thing that wasn't really confirmed, but it's like, he probably died. Wasn't that clear, but yeah, he probably died.
Especially, yeah, his comment about Jet's death was like, it was really unclear.
Yeah, that was really unclear. So yeah,
it was...
and it also shows that, you know, that the creators of this series, like, they know, you know, looking back, that like maybe some of the criticisms or some things that people have been making a little bit of fun of, and they're just using it and embracing it, and I like that.
There was a very touching moment between Zuko and Toph in this one, where she was talking about Iroh and the whole thing with him not feeling like he honored, redeemed himself in the eyes of Iroh, and she was just like, well, you did. I think it was such a sweet thing to talk about.
Yeah, it was a lovely little exchange they had there, and I think Zuko also needed that. That was something that we saw in this episode as well, him reacting to, you know, seeing not Iroh on stage, but someone playing Iroh, and then thinking about his uncle and how much he did for him, and he was feeling embarrassed, and
he was, you know, confronted with all of his mistakes that he's been doing all this time.
Exactly.
Still very sore.
So it was tough for him to watch. So it was good that Toph could then give him some tough love there, and tell him that I've talked to him. He wouldn't shut up about you, and I'm sure he would be proud that you joined the good guys. And that's what he wanted for you. Like, you chose your own destiny. You did that. That's all he ever wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And even though he might not be around to see this, he would be so proud of him. And I think that was very important for him to know, and especially having Toph, she definitely has a wise moment, because she's so down to earth and very like grounded and rational. Rational, yeah. I think it was very important for him as well to just hear it, like, of course he's gonna he actually told you to do this. He has built you like this. And he just wanted you to go down your path, be it what it was. And you have redeemed yourself in the eyes of him, in the eyes of us, in the eyes of basically everyone. Now you just need to see that yourself, and be sure that you have redeemed yourself in your own eyes as well. And that was, I just wanted to mention that very quickly. That was very heartwarming, and I just had to shed a tear or two.
That was a nice scene. That definitely was a nice scene.
Yeah.
But unless you have anything else for this one,
I don't know. I just like that Zuko is just still that brooding emo teenager.
Yeah, he still has that in him, for sure. And the portrayal of him on stage was actually probably the most spot on.
That was, I just think that it was kind of fun, and of course there's something true to what Katara was saying, that everything is very like amplified and it was over the top and stereotyped. But of course every stereotype is like, it's grounded in something real and something true.
Yes.
And that was a fun thing. Yeah.
It really was. So, now, 4 episodes to go. The finale. 4-part finale. Holy shit. Don't know if we're ready for this, but next week we're going to get into it. We're going to watch him. No matter what. So, we better be ready. And you better be ready for our reactions. And speaking of having things ready, I mentioned it before, we're probably going to need a lot of tissues and stuff like that. So, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.